Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning back in to watch my top 5 suggestions for formal fragrances. Whether you have a networking event coming up, an interview, any sort of event, maybe even a job that requires you to get in a suit and tie, tuxedo, whatever your preference is, then I totally recommend that you stay tuned to find out what these 5 fragrances are. But before we get there, make sure to subscribe down below to hit the notifications bell, and that way you'll be letting me know that you want more videos in English from me. But let's get started. So the first fragrance I have here is Armani Code, and I actually have some on my arm. I love this fragrance so much. You guys have no idea. It is a classic for a reason. It is the original, and I think it even got an award in like 2006 or something for being the fragrance of the year. And yes, 2006 was a while ago, and that's why there are many other flankers of this line that people usually tend to opt for nowadays. But I still think this one beats nothing else. The other ones are great, but nothing like the original. This is super citrusy when you first spray it. It has a lot of lemon and bergamot, but then it becomes a little more aromatic, and the tobacco and the leather start coming out, and that's why this one is clean, but it's also sexy. It's also a little bit spicy. It is very elegant. Like, that's the first word that comes to mind when I smell this one. Elegant in an ultra sexy way. And it also becomes quite sweet as it develops. So my skin right now, because I've been wearing it for like an hour or so, it's pretty sweet. And you totally recognize the DNA from the Armani Code Profumo that came later. Like, you can totally catch that when this one is on the dry down or developing. The sweetness is exactly the same, and it's my favorite part of this fragrance trip. So if you do want to smell a little bit sexy but also elegant, because we are in a more formal event, not a going out one, use Profumo for that, then I totally suggest that you use Armani Code, the original. Alright, so the next one I have doesn't really get as much attention as I wish it did, and that's why I'm bringing it up today. This is Givenchy pour Homme. This is such a beautiful, sophisticated, easy to wear fragrance. It is very citrusy, a lot of grapefruit and a lot of mandarin, but it also has violets and lavender, so it's just so clean. Like, this smells ultra clean. So this is not casual by any means, but out of all the ones that I'm showing you today, it's probably the more casual one. So I wouldn't really wear this one with a suit and tie. You totally could, and it would be perfectly fine, but I would rather you wear this one with just a shirt. So a more, still slightly formal, but business casual, that's the word, business casual event. This is your go-to scent for daytime. Well, the other one was more for nighttime. This is better for daytime and even for higher temperatures. This works like a wonder. So that's Givenchy pour Homme. The next one that I have could not be missing from this list. I'm sure you're so familiar with this, and also La Nuit de l'Homme. There is nothing on earth like La Nuit de l'Homme. There's nothing as sexy as this. It is very spicy and aromatic, and to me it is very sweet, even though it's technically supposed to be spicy. When you first spray it, yeah, the bergamot kind of comes through, but then as the fragrance progresses, the lavender and the cardamom, which is what makes it so spicy, really show through. So this is elegance in a bottle, but also sexy. But I will say, I do not think this is the best fragrance for someone under 30. I think this suits someone who's plus 30, wearing a really nice suit, someone who's very driven but very confident, very low-key. I think that's the perfect fragrance for someone like that, or for someone who wants to transmit that kind of personality. And if that's you, then I totally suggest that you pick up a bottle of La Nuit de l'Homme. So the next fragrance that I have here, John Varvatos, from John Varvatos, the original. This fragrance is amazing. It is very interesting because it has a lot of vanilla, amber, and even caramel. And if you say that to someone, they're going to right away assume that this is ultra sweet, but it's actually not sweet at all, at least not, I don't think that it is. Instead, it is very animalic. It has a lot of leather, like so much leather, but maybe because of the fusion with those sweet notes, the scent coming out of here is very clean. So it's not an overwhelming leather at all. yes, it's an animalic leather, but it's also a sharp, clean, kind of sexy leather. And the kind of person who I visualize, or I envision rather, wearing this fragrance is someone with like a leather jacket and like just like this gives me like huge bad boy vibes, who then has to go to work, take off the leather jacket and put on a suit. So that's kind of the person that you are. You like leather jackets, you like motorcycles, and then you have to switch into your work clothing. Then this is the fragrance for you. So elegant, so clean, so sexy. John Varvatos. And my fifth recommendation is yet another one that could not be missing from this list. This is Bleu de Chanel. This is sophistication in a bottle. It's so good. Like nothing beats this fragrance. It is very fresh. It has lemon and grapefruit. But what's interesting is that besides everything that I've mentioned about it, it also has mint. So it gives it a bit of a fresh, spicy tone to it. It's actually, yeah, it's quite spicy, a little bit woody in the back. So elegant. Like literally, when I think of an elegant fragrance, an elegant designer fragrance, for man, this is like my top one. Like I cannot, this and La Nuit de l'Homme, but La Nuit de l'Homme is a little bit sexier. But this one, I will say, unlike La Nuit de l'Homme, I suggest for people under 30. Like if you're like in your 20s, I think this is probably your go-to. And like the Givenchy one, this is better for daytime, unlike La Nuit, Armani Code, and John Varvatos that are better suited for nighttime. This one is just so clean and so good for a suit during the daytime, during the hotter months. That is Bleu de Chanel. Alright guys, so those were my top 5 recommendations. Make sure to let me know down in the comments which are your favorite formal fragrances. And of course, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and to subscribe. Press the notification bell if you haven't already so that you won't miss any of my videos in English.